Thank you, Dina. 8:32. Our Shockley Honda Pet of the Week is a cute little budgie who is now becoming comfortable enough to where we're hearing she's saying good morning to us.
Yeah, she does have something to say.
Good morning to you, Dee Dee.
Good morning.
And we have this morning a special little, we don't even know if it's a guy or a girl yet.
I'm pretty sure it's a girl, but it's a very pale color and very young. And adult male budgies have a blue cere, which is the flesh over their nose.
A cere?
It's called a cere,
Okay.
C-E-R-E. And then adult female budgies have a brown one. And since this one is peach colored, he or she's not mature yet. But I think it's going to be a girl.
She's a cute little guy, and she's calm. Well, she's a cute little girl.
That was good, though. That was perfect.
And
because we don't know.
Well, she came into the studio, and she's been very calm, and now she's relaxing a little bit and starting to talk to us.
Right.
And you have a couple of budgies
We
looking
do.
for homes right now.
A family bought 3 little budgies at the pet store and brought them home. And as everyone knows, 3 budgies can make a considerable amount of noise. But that's not exactly the reason that they brought them in. The daughter in the family has asthma, and it was definitely made worse with the birds in the house. So they brought them into the shelter, and these budgies are used to kids in the house and dogs in the house, so they're pretty brave.
No, she's starting to talk to us a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, I've had budgies in my life. My mother rescued a couple of budgies somebody didn't want, and they can really crank it up when there's a pair of them.
Yes.
They get very excited. They would calm down if you covered the cage.
Yes. You can't, if you cover the cage every night, then you give them plenty of rest and they chirp most of the day. If you do try to use the cage covering to keep them quiet, it will lose its power.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm. It's a temporary fix. If you're asking your bird, be quiet for 15 minutes while I cover you, they can handle that. But if you cover it every afternoon, they'll just start saying, no matter, I'm still going to sing.
And if you were to adopt this little budgie who does not have a name, Crossroads Animal Referral and Emergency will provide a package to help you start. Now, we have, of course, designated doggy and kitty packages, but they will work with you if you were to adopt this budgie.
Yes, that's what we heard. We said, what if it's a ferret? And we heard that's not a problem. They're adaptable, and they treat every kind of animal. Most people don't know that it's a great idea to take your small birds to the vet once a year. They don't, if they live in your house without exposure to other birds, the vet may not recommend vaccines, although there are vaccines for birds. But the checkup is the important thing. There are a lot of things that happen to birds that are easier to prevent than they are to treat after. Birds are pretty good at looking perfectly healthy even when they have some problems. So a checkup every year is a great idea for a bird.
I've seen some big birds at the shelter, some parrots and maybe macaws at times. Do you still have a population of birds there?
We just have these 3 budgies right now. We try to work with Phoenix Landing to take the larger birds out of the shelter pretty soon after they arrive because we do not have cages large enough for long-term housing of large birds.
Let me ask you this. What's the difference between a budgie and a parakeet?
Well, that's a very good question. There are grass parakeets, which are the same thing as a budgie, but there are also Indian ringneck parakeets, Quaker parakeets that are bigger.
And then a parrot, that's when you're getting into some big birds, parrots and macaws. And there are separate rescue organizations that handle big birds.
That is correct.
So she's starting to talk to us here a little bit. And to adopt a budgie, what would be the cost of a person?
It's a $10 adoption fee.
Okay.
We have Jill Dorian will come in and talk to them about what birds need because most people think it's a little cage and bird seed, and that's wrong. They need spinach and kale and cuttlebone to chew, and the bigger the cage, the better. Okay.
And I guess you have to keep them fresh water every day.
Oh, yeah.
And how about if you have one budgie? They're not going to make all the noise all day long if they don't have a partner with them. Do you kind of recommend maybe that you have 2?
If it depends on how much time you want to spend with your bird. They're very gregarious. They need lots of attention. So if you have 1, you're going to have to spend a lot of time with the bird. But if you have 2, they do entertain each other.
They do entertain each other. And at that point, you better know what you're getting into because it can get pretty noisy. And it's a fairly high-pitched chatter that they have.
Budgies also learn to talk if they're single.
Oh, is that right? Oh, man, I don't want one around me. I don't want anybody repeating what I say to myself. So our Shockley Honda Pet of the Week is a little budgie who needs a name, needs a home, and you have 3 for adoption.
We do.
Are y'all going to be in the street this year? Will you be set up in the street? Okay, well, then I will see you that Saturday. 8:36. Stick your finger in there, Pat. See how friendly she is. Here's Nurse Bentley with Sideways.